So, I'm here in beautiful Anchorage, Alaska, to tell you about a subject that's long since passed its news cycle. And that subject is bird flu. Let me get you straightened out here and try not to stare at the LCD too much. So, bird flu has left the news, but it's still an important subject. And there are still misconceptions about it. Heaven forbid something should get out of the news cycles before people understand it. Now, see these ducks, they're happy and healthy despite being in somewhat polluted water. This is a wide spot in a creek that is downstream from a golf course. And so the water is full of nitrates and generally unhealthy environment as far as the creek is concerned, but fine for ducks. And these ducks are fattening up. They're getting ready to fly south for the winter. Anchorage is kind of far north, and they've got quite a ways to go. Every year they travel up and down, back and forth between Anchorage and wherever they go. I don't know where these ducks are from. I'm not a duck biologist. But they have the energy to make that journey, even though many of them carry flu virus. That is, in fact, how the flu virus has gotten around for millions of years. It relies on organisms to carry it. And it's capable of doing that, even though, as you may recall, bird flu and early swine flu, fairly virulent for humans, did a very good job of killing the first humans who got it. And the reason it can get around in birds, but not in humans, is because of an effect called attrition. Now, when the flu virus gets into a host, it only has a few weeks before the host's immune system completely clobbers it, sometimes only a few days. Now, a healthy animal is more likely to clobber it, and it does so faster. But if it kills them in just a few days, or even a few hours, then it doesn't have an opportunity to jump to a new host, like the Ebola virus. It is a victim of its own success. And so, the flu that doesn't kill its victims is the flu that gets passed around, typically. Now, if there is a flu that's extra virulent, but also extra infectious, then it will obviously have an edge over a flu that's neither, and so that extra virulent flu will get around. But there is a downside to attrition for the rest of us, in that the birds that are surviving are putting out more flu virus. They stay alive longer, they take more breaths in, they breathe more breaths out with flu virus in them. And so, you, as a person, are more likely to catch flu virus from a bird that is, on some level, capable of surviving with flu virus for an extended period of time. As we saw with swine flu, after it gets into humans, there can be an attrition effect. And that is why swine flu, which was so deadly in Mexico, was such a non-issue in the United States. It had nothing to do with over-preparing. We just got lucky and attrition happened faster than we expected it to. Now, the people who have chickens in the big chicken houses are very vested in keeping their animals just barely alive. They're unpleasant conditions. Their animals have really weak immune systems, and any flu virus they might get exposed to wouldn't be geared for those weak immune systems, because no one is stupid enough to move chickens rapidly from one house to another. Normally they'll fill a house up and then empty it all at once to reduce the breadth of exposure to potential pathogens. Now, if we look at the statistics from 2007 and 2008 of human deaths to bird flu, in Asia, something kind of peculiar happened. Something peculiar was found. It was young men, adolescent and pre-adolescent males, who were dying. And you might think, oh, males have a higher likelihood because they're more reckless or maybe have weaker immune systems genetically. But that's not the case. What happened in Asia, taking care of the family's chickens is an appropriate chore for the boys, but not for the girls. The girls are supposed to be cooking and cleaning, doing housework. It's sexist, I know, but I'm not the one who decided those were the rules. Those are the rules in Asia. And so, out in the country in Asia, they had boys out there doing manual labor near the chickens, with the chickens. And they were huffing and puffing and breathing deep because, it takes energy to haul around bags of feed and bags of litter and all that jazz. Although I don't know exactly how they keep chickens in rural China. Again, not a chicken expert either. But in a backyard flock, you have, anyone who has one has a broad exposure to birds that potentially could be sick. All while doing manual labor in their gardens. Digging up potatoes takes a lot of work. And these ducks, if they carry swine flu, or if they carried flu up with them in the spring when they came up here, they wouldn't be much of a threat to chickens because, not many people had their chickens near a duck pond. You'd have to have a property with a pond for that to happen, and most people don't. And those who can afford it are less likely to have chickens. But what you can't really see, especially since the light is fading, is that there are little songbirds up there in the trees flitting around. And they can easily carry any virus that they pick up here at the pond into the rest of the city and expose any animals that are living in the city to any flu that comes up with these ducks. I really wish I could see a songbird for you, but I just don't see anything. I think they're settled down for the night. Unlike these ducks who are just going at it, picking up, I'm guessing it's feed that people threw down for them. So, in this one respect, backyard chickens are more dangerous than the horribly kept chickens that have the weak immune systems. Yeah. Thanks for watching.